Are you selling your house? Are you possibly buying a new home? Tonight, we meet Dakota Shannon with Dakota Shannon Real Estate, and he's going to tell you all about what he's doing here in Dayton to sell your house for the most money possible, and then if also you're a buyer, getting you the best possible deal out there. Come on in. Can't wait to meet you.
Welcome to the Dayton Approved Podcast with Frank O'Neill. This is where the local Dayton businesses get a spotlight.
All right, welcome to Dayton Approved, where we're exploring Dayton small businesses and nonprofits with Dayton Discount Furniture. Today we've got Dakota Shannon with Dakota Shannon Real Estate. How are you today, Dakota?
Fantastic. Frank, how are you doing over there, sir?
I'm doing great. You know, I'm really excited about you being here today. I've been thinking about it all day, and I can't believe we're actually doing this. This is great.
It's amazing.
You know, I've been wanting you to come on the show for a while, so I'm very happy that you decided to make that leap.
It's amazing where we come from being in high school and stuff, right, buddy?
That's right. I've known Dakota for a very long time, and we have had lots of different experiences, and this is another experience that we're putting in the book.
There you go. Let's do it.
So Dakota, you are a real estate agent, and you have been for at least 10 years now, I know. And you have had a pretty interesting story, which we will get into here soon. But first, we want to talk about what we always talk about, which is the mission statement. And the mission statement that you provide me is, you know, you are looking for a win for all your customers in the residential market. So tell us a little bit about, you know, the different type of customers that are in your market, and tell us about what a win looks like for these guys. Or gals.
Or girls. Or anybody. All
That's
right.
That's right.
Anybody. But yes, I work in the residential field, definitely not commercial. So, and one of the things is there's really three types of clients I think there are in the residential world. You got the buyers, you got the sellers, and you got the investors. So,
absolutely.
With it, I feel like with the buyers it's my job to beat every other buyer to my buyer's favorite house. Because if you bought a house recently or within the last 5, even maybe 10 years, though, it just seems like your favorite house happens to be every other buyer's favorite house.
Of course, everyone's favorite house.
And it's my job to beat every other buyer
to
that house. So get a little competitive with it and learned a few things, little addendums to make sure that I win for them. Awesome.
And what about the other guys, the investors and the sellers?
Well, the sellers, they're one of my specialties. Is one of the ones I like working the best with is to get them absolute top dollar for the house. You know, more than they can get with any other agent or really any other way. And with the investors, which are fun as well, is to make sure that they are maximizing their profits, getting the best rate of return on their money.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like a solid plan for all three different types of customers that you've got. Well, let's jump right into the whole story. Let's talk about how Dakota Shannon got into being an entrepreneur. Let's talk about how he even got into real estate. I know it's a decent, long, good, beautiful story, and that's what we're here to listen to. So,
if you say so.
Yes. Oh, it's a great story. So let's hear it.
We all have our ups and downs and stuff. So, well, one thing I actually read not too long ago was reading a book called Buy Back Your Time, and I didn't realize this. Did you know, Frank, that the majority or higher percentage of entrepreneurs, they were from a broken home or just did not have like the ideal growing up situation and stuff? And
I did not know that, but I can tell you from my own experience that, you know, as being an entrepreneur myself, I definitely kind of had that like chip on my shoulder, you know?
Yeah.
You know, learning disability, actually, true, complete transparency, we both have been in that boat. That's actually how we met in high school,
in the class,
which is interesting, right?
Hey.
And, you know, we were always kind of told, like, hey, you'll be lucky to, you know, do whatever and, you know, get to college or whatnot. So I've always kind of used that as my, like, fuel to, you know, excel and really kind of prove people wrong, right? So I know personally I've done that, and I actually read a couple of other entrepreneurs are in kind of the same boat, interestingly enough. So it doesn't surprise me, but I've never actually heard that.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. And when you bring that up, too, I remember with my English, it was just like usually in high school you got to learn a new language and stuff. And they're like, no, you're so bad at learning the English language that you could skip learning another language. You
Yeah,
still need
I
to
got
work
that. I
on
got that
your-
pass too. I got that pass too. So it was kind of nice. It was nice. But yes, I did not have to be required to have a second language.
Nice. So, yeah, we're talking about my story then? What's
Yeah,
up?
absolutely. So your story. So let's get to how you got into being an entrepreneur and how it all started.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, yeah, I guess after talking about the whole book, I just finished reading Buy Back Your Time anyways,
Yeah.
but was about entrepreneurs. But the thing is that I was brought up as a single parent, my mom. So she had 2 boys to raise, and we were a little bit pain in the butts. But anyways, one of her biggest accomplishments in life was getting a house, buying a house. And it was not until we were in 8th grade that happened. And for some reason, it ingrained in me that I want to get a house as soon as possible because...
Yeah, you saw the opportunity. And you
Yeah.
saw how important it was to your mom.
Yeah, exactly. So I just couldn't see the fathom putting money in somebody else's pocket when you just have a little patience, save, and do it. So I did that when I was 19 years old. I was a server at Bravo at that time. And anyways, from there, got into the head bartender there, and then was handed the management books. I was there for like 13 years or so, worked my way up from a busboy, and
Now, one of the things that happened before that, though, was you actually purchased a house, though.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So how old were you when you first bought your first house?
purchased it when I was 19 years old, so that was
19 years old. Now, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, it was great. The experience was, at the time, I thought was good, but later on realized that my realtor could have done a better job with things and stuff. So
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You saw some opportunities, what I hear.
yeah, later on I learned like, oh wait, I could do better.
Yeah.
So especially
course.
with the real estate industry and with the, I guess apparently we're like ranked number 3 or 4, I forget whatever ranking it was, but definitely on the rank of most hated salespeople and stuff, right? Right below you salespeople and
Well, I always say furniture salesman.
Furniture salesman,
Probably
too.
in that arena as well,
So, anyways, yeah, I ended up getting my management books after working there for way too many years, and I was just like, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? I almost had like a quarter-life crisis.
Yeah.
So I went back home and went on the internet, good old Google, and
Yeah.
wanted to figure out like what were the best opportunities for wealth, or what were the wealthy people doing and stuff, and realized it was real estate. So then just did a little more Google search, found out Sinclair Community College, and within 2 weeks,
Good old Dayton.
yeah, you could go get your real estate license and end up being able to help people with one of their biggest financial decisions within 2 weeks.
Yes.
So mine took a little bit longer because I'm slow. No, it was because, but it was
No, you were working the weekends, you said.
I was working the weekends with the real estate, so Saturdays and Sundays was real estate.
Which is actually kind of detrimental because, being a bartender.
Yeah,
So those
my-
are your big days.
my
So you
boss-
sacrificed.
Yeah, my manager boss didn't like it either at the time.
I'm
but
sure.
because it was like the next week, it was like I can't realize the week before I want to get into real estate, and then the next week, the class is starting like next
Yeah.
week. It was like, so yeah, it was a interesting sacrifice, I guess.
Yes, yes.
So ended up getting my real estate license, but actually a little bit before that, I called my brother too, and just be like, because I always like to keep my brother involved with
course.
things and
Family, why not?
and just like I carried him through anyways. But I said, hey, let's become the Property Brothers of Dayton. You're just getting into kitchen and bathroom remodeling, and
Yeah.
we could take over the Dayton.
Yeah.
Make it a better place.
Absolutely.
Later on did I learn that there was just so much with real estate and stuff. It's just so many different avenues you can go with it. So I ended up reading a book, which was a first year of getting into real estate or something. So this person put
Yeah.
30 years of his knowledge into a book.
Yeah,
And
his
that-
experience and everything of that nature.
and it just, I think that's when my mind went from a fixed set mindset to a growth mindset.
Yeah, so
And
you think
just-
that was where you had that aha moment?
Yeah, just like, holy crap. Just reading somebody's life within, a handful of hours,
Yeah.
I was able to, upgrade my life because of them writing that book, I won't say sacrificing a life, but putting all that knowledge in it.
Right.
So then that's when I learned that, I guess the whole saying to earn more is to learn more to earn more, things like that. And if I'm able to help, by helping myself, help others, I'm able to also, in return, help myself as well.
Of course. Yeah. Help me help you is what I would say. Well, that's interesting. So you basically started, and I think you said 2013 is when you started your real estate career. And
December, so.
yeah, so December, so about
Basically
a little bit,
yeah.
a little bit over 10 years ago.
Uh-huh.
And that's when you started to really start selling houses and getting into it. So I'm sure a lot of different things has happened since then. I know you've definitely changed a couple of different brokers and whatnot into where you are now in today's world.
Well, I'm still actually at the same broker that I was when I first started. I did, follow the whole, like,
Let's try something different.
the grass is greener on this side. Look how amazing we are. Let's do it. And then,
Right.
and then back to back to Keller Williams.
Exactly. Well, that's cool. That's interesting and that's exciting to hear. And honestly, I really do like how, you started at a young age. You were able to have a huge accomplishment at the age of 19, and you're still doing it today, which is really admirable and honestly really, really cool and inspiring. So, well, Dakota, that's all extremely interesting. Your story is phenomenal, and your story has definitely inspired me to be a better entrepreneur. So I really do appreciate your story. But let's talk about something a little bit different. Let's talk about how you and your business contribute to the local community and the economy. I mean, there's a couple different things that I know that you do with your firm that you're with, and there's also some life sayings that you have that you kind of live by.
Well, speaking of the growth mindset, one of the early OGs of motivational speakers and coaches was Jim Rohn, and I really liked what he said is that if you can live off of $1, you can live off of 90 cents. So
Right.
with each paycheck I set aside, I have a different account that I put my money in to give away and stuff. So
you give away 10%.
well, I haven't reached that mark yet. I'll be honest with you guys. I'll be honest, but I definitely got me up there.
You've learned
and
how to
stuff.
live off of 95. of a
There we
dollar.
go. Yeah, at least 95. So with that though, it's been nice to be able to help. For one, I have my somebody that does bike rides for different causes and stuff. So I was able to do that, and also with fundraisers or donate me this or that, and
Right.
so it's been nice to be able to do that. Along with my office has a thing called KW Cares, or not my office, but the whole brokerage, the international
Right.
and stuff, called KW Cares. So I'll donate to them as well, have them help with the bigger causes of life, because I'm just a little minion, just making my
you're one
little
person.
commission. But hey, let's have somebody else that specializes in figuring out the best places to
allocate the cash.
to allocate the cash to help the greater people in need.
Yeah.
So with that, they've been able to help people in Hurricane Katrina or those hurricanes or whatnot in Texas and other things like that. So ended up winning an award for my office, being one of the #1 contributors towards the KW.
Wow, that's a nice accomplishment.
Nice. They got the nice little glass plaque with a heart on it. So.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it's nice.
Well, that's cool. Well, it's great. It obviously shows that you care about that and that you are. I mean, to be #1 in that, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we also do a thing called KW Day, no, Red Day. I apologize, Red Day.
Yeah.
So it's in May, and it happens with every office in Keller Williams, like across the world. It's the same day. They all do something for their community and stuff. So like one year I was there doing it was a nonprofit for mental illness. They were helping a place get up and running, and they just had a lot of yard work, mulching, this and that. So
Yeah.
a little bit more of a workout than I was expecting, but it was good for the body, right? Breaking a
Right,
sweat to
right.
help out.
Well, it's good. At least you were able to help contribute, even though it was more physical than you probably wanted to do. But hey,
Hey,
you
that's why I
contribute.
got the stand.
That's right. Well, let's talk about some things that set your business apart from others. Let's talk about how, you're a realtor. Obviously, there's a lot of different realtors out there. But what sets you apart from other realtors?
And that's what we need to, I guess one of the biggest things in real estate is everybody knows a realtor. So
It's true.
what sets you apart? If you're
This is true.
The problem with, I won't say the problem with the public, but if they think every realtor is the same, who are they going to go with? Usually the cheapest or whatnot. So I wanted to be kind of completely differently than these other realtors. And one of the ways I was kind of seeing is it just seems like the whole real estate industry is so buyer focused. And I mean, the whole purchase contract from the Dayton Area Board of Realtors, it seems to very protect the buyer, and they can almost get out for almost any reason and stuff. So I wanted to kind of focus, and you go to any agent website, what do you see? Search for houses. So I'm just like, well, I kind of want to focus more on sellers and let them know I focus more on sellers. So I ended up.
Yeah, so that definitely is a big differentiator.
Yes, indeed. So, but with that, though, it was kind of funny. It was, I think, with sellers, I was able to learn some more, I guess, figuring out things and having addendums like, hey, can we do this? And somebody would ask me, well, it's never been done before. I was like, well, can we create an addendum? Talking to a lawyer or something to write these special addendums up to protect the sellers. And then with that, it kind of worked out with my buyers is able to beat my the other buyers because my offer ended up standing out in this very competitive world. So,
no, that's really cool. That's good. No, I mean, that's smart, and definitely great because, like you said, people aren't focusing on the seller as much as they are focusing on the buyer.
That, it just seems like everybody just stuck in their ways and stuff. This is how it's been done,
Right.
so let's just keep doing it
this way,
it's done and stuff, and just asking the question and stuff. So it's always my favorite answer or the question from agents. Let's just like, can that happen? It's like, did somebody say, can you do that? Oh, did someone say you can't?
Right.
Just working that kind of gray area and stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, historically, they're like, I can't remember what it all is, but I remember when I was buying a house, this was in 2012, and I think they said something about like historically the seller pays for, whatever. And I can't remember what it was. It was something. And I was like, what? No. It's just how it typically gets done. Doesn't mean it needs to be done that way.
Yeah. And also just, back in the day, it was just like there was no inspections. You're buying it as is.
Yeah.
So before it was so seller focused, but now we've gone the other turn and it just became so buyer focused.
Right. So it's, when the pendulum swings, you got to remember those little pieces of information will also change too.
Yep.
Now, another thing that sets you apart is that you're also an active investor. So you're not just selling houses, making a little commission check. You are actually involved in the real estate market personally yourself.
Correct. So I like to buy real estate because I think that's a big one of the better places to store your park your money at, I guess you could say, because with inflation and everything else going on, it's just a way to make sure, and also buying an asset that's having a tenant to pay down your liabilities and all that. I think that's a
smart thing to do.
One of the best ways to build your wealth. Says
I
my
agree.
Google research many years ago. No.
Yeah. Well, no, I agree. I think that is definitely a smart way to build and protect wealth for sure, because houses, definitely are affected with inflation, but typically with the positive, like when money gets inflated, the house goes up.
You know, so if you have $1 going for one house, that's but then when they print out $10, it's going to the same amount of houses available and stuff. So that's,
because it's a fixed, real, tangible asset.
Yeah, it only goes up and stuff. So yes, indeed. I think I forgot to mention a little quote though when we were talking about with real estate and just caring about my clients and stuff. And it's just like one of the things that hit me once was that no one cares about what you care about until you care about what they care about.
Right.
And caring about what they care about is what
Karen
caring is all about. So,
Yes,
you
yes.
know, you just got to ask them the questions and stuff. And real estate, there's a lot of, this is me, very egocentric. This is how many houses I sold. This is,
Right.
you know, this is what I can do for you with the marketing, this and that, and all that
Right.
crap.
Yeah. No, it's just it is interesting because you get into this whole like because you could say like pissing contest in a way. It's like, whoa, we're just trying to buy and sell houses here. What is going on? I was told when I bought a building, it was a business building, so it was a little bit different than residential. But you know, the moral I think is still there. And my commercial realtor said, you know, I've done a great amount of deals, and the best deals that I see, which is interesting, is the seller feels like, well, I could have got more money, and then the buyer also feels like they could have got it for less.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's like the
Yeah.
positive. What's interesting is it's two negative outcomes or two
Yeah.
negatives turning into a positive outcome. And he's like, that's when you know you got a real deal.
Yeah,
Like it's a real deal because
that makes sense. I
Yeah,
like it.
it's just
There-
interesting.
There's a lot of truth to that.
it's really, really interesting. So you're in this battle arena, and it's like you got two people that are not necessarily happy, but ultimately they are.
But they're satisfied, you know?
Exactly. So it's just kind of an interesting take on all of that. Well, let's talk about some different I guess you could say successes and milestones you've hit. You know, you've been in the business for 10 years. That's a huge pat on the back.
Well, since one of my milestones in 10 years is my forehead got bigger, so that means,
Hey!
my brain got a little bit bigger from
Yes.
all the knowledge and wealth
Of course,
and
of course.
stuff that I've learned. But now it's this, 10 years in the business. So I hit that mark, I like to say January, even though it was, December, and selling over 250 houses, which was kind of cool as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of houses.
It sure is. And definitely you learn almost a little bit each transaction and things. And
Right.
I know, like, there's a lot of
I mean, you
team-
can't pay for that experience. I mean, you could if you find a realtor. And that's really the question you should ask a realtor. How many houses you sold?
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to give you a great answer.
For the most part. I see there's some truth to that, but then there's also
Well,
these
it's not
teams.
it's not the only answer. And I get what you're saying with teams that are like sell
Oh,
more.
we could sell
But
500 houses
what
in
I'm
a
saying
year.
is like
It definitely adds some
okay,
learning
yes.
experience and
Just
knowledge.
because someone sells 250 houses doesn't mean they're better than another realtor that sells 100 houses. But it does give credibility.
experience.
Yes.
No rookie mistakes.
Right. So, if you got someone that's, on house number 10, you probably want someone to double check it.
A little bit. Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Exactly.
Let's be real.
So with that, some other awards or whatnot from both my office and the board is just like, well, I was top 5 under 40 with the Dayton Area Board of Realtors one year. I was
Yeah.
with the office, won a few things with being largest growth over growth, whatever, year to year things and stuff like that. But just all these, it's almost like high school or something. You get these trophies and stuff. So it's just like,
Right.
cool, this, that, and it just like I don't even apply for them anymore or whatnot. I just kind of focus still on the clients and stuff. And one of the biggest rewards I got was, I think this was the third time, was last month, third or fourth. It was I became a third generational realtor. So it
Yeah,
was being able to help both the kids, the parents, and the grandparents all with their real estate needs and stuff too. It was just like becoming the family realtor was
Yeah,
my
you really become part of the family in a weird way.
yeah. It's just like, yep, they know who to go to.
Right. Well, that's cool. That's a great accomplishment to have. I mean, a third generation realtor is really cool. So let's talk about some challenges. What is one of the biggest challenges right now? I mean, obviously the economy is crazy. That's always a challenge. Things are weird right now. People are buying stuff left and right. But really, are they? Because, inventory is low. I mean, there's so many things or so many events happening right now that's kind of causing confusion in the market. But regardless of all that, we can talk about that if you want to as well. Let's talk about actual other challenges that you see happening.
Yeah, especially with the market being the way it is, a little different, and just higher interest rates and just the unknown now, all the crazy stuff happening in the world and being election season. It's just like the hardest thing is kind of just finding. I want to be the money problem solver, so finding people with money problems. So people who have who are got a divorce, they have a money issue, or people who are downsizing. They are older because they can't go up steps anymore.
Yeah.
So that ends up being more kind of a money issue.
I always say people that are
or-
like in transition.
Yep, transitions and stuff. So marital transitions
Right,
is what
that's
I
what I'm
sometimes
getting.
call
All
it.
sorts of
So-
yes, all transitions.
So, and then people who lost their jobs, unfortunately.
Another transition.
People who are busting from the seams because they have a 2-bedroom house but 4 kids
Right.
and themselves and stuff. So that's another
Another
thing.
transition.
So just being able to to kind of be the one for them to call, because everybody knows a realtor. So just finding people with the money issues, and also just having the opportunity to get my foot in the door, because they think all realtors are the same. If they are, they're just going to go with somebody they know, or go somebody, basically they know somebody or they have a referral and stuff. So just trying to get an opportunity to share with them what I would do differently.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, knowing someone I get is like important, but knowing someone is like part of it. But realistically, it's okay. If I know you, that's great. But like, what's your track record? What are you actually doing? What? I want a good realtor.
So
I don't want a realtor I know. You know what I mean? Like, great. That's cool.
It
Like
makes
what?
me-
I can feel more comfortable telling them my dirty, deep secret of what I want in a house. I don't understand. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. You know what I'm saying?
It makes me think of the people on the expired list, which that's how I kind of built my business up back in the early days, which was people on the expired list is they had their house on the market and they couldn't sell their house due to whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out there were some commonalities with these people on the expired list. Majority of them listed with an agent that was their friend,
Mm-hmm.
or they listed with an agent that gave them a discount.
Mm.
But the third, which was the most important one, is they listed with a friend that gave them a discount.
Ah, yes.
Found out that that's kind of,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yes. That's not always the best way to sell a house. I mean, you got to remember, your house is like one of the biggest assets you own. Not for everyone. I get this. Not for
But
everyone.
majority.
For the majority of people, it's probably the 30 to 40 percentile of their wealth in general. I mean, that's big.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big chunk. So you're going to just trust that with a friend? No. I'm going to have a professional deal with me. Like, that's just what I do. Now, if my professional that I choose is also my friend, that's a bonus. But
Bonus.
not the way. I mean, come on. That's the way I look at it. It's wild. But yeah, so I mean, I know those are definitely some challenges and whatnot, but let's move on to different things that you do that, collaborate with other local businesses and organizations that, help support the community. I know basically you said, being a realtor, when someone comes into a new house, they've got a whole list of things they need. And you've got a team of referrals, essentially, people you can refer to that can help them get and do and essentially help out with projects that they need done.
Correct. Instead of people getting stuck with these, like even with insurance companies, there's a lot of these big brand insurance companies and stuff. So helping them get a better rate, and also insurance companies that actually do roof claims and stuff like that. We've talked about that before with our other friend who's in the roofing business, and
Right.
Along with home warranty companies. I ended up. That's one of the main people I probably switched over, went from a major brand, all these hoops, to another major brand, and then found out that this local company ends up being the best service for our clients. Less hoops to jump through and stuff too, and that's also what I've done with a lot of the other professions that I try to refer out to is not these name brand ones, but just local businesses, because they're just less hoops to jump through, and they just, when you call, you're not getting a 1-800 line or just having to go through all this crap just to get what you want done.
Yeah, no, absolutely, That makes a lot of sense to me, actually. So it's good that you got, a list of people that you can help out, that that are trusted, that can help your clients. So you're not just, you're literally not making any money on that. That is just strictly your expertise and experience that's been able to provide this type of service as an extra.
It's always fun putting your name on the line too and
I
stuff.
know, right? It's always a risk.
Well,
I swear I didn't do that. It was them.
a lot of contractors are really good until they're they
they're
get
not.
busy, right?
Right. All of a sudden, I'm booked. I love it when they say that. I'm booked. I'm booked. Well, what are some current things that you're working on that you're excited about? I know this is not really real estate related, but I know that you recently got into Bitcoin.
Oh gosh! Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that. We can't talk all night about it.
We can try to make
but
it
let's
a
talk
little real
bit.
estate, with all the low inventories and stuff. I think one thing that could help the real estate industry to help lower prices, to help allow more people to buy, buyers more options to buy their houses, is if we get these real estate investors with 150 houses in their profile being able to realize the advantages of owning Bitcoin as well, and being able to sell half or all of it and this and that. So that could actually help the real estate industry as well and stuff. But I've just got recently into Bitcoin earlier this year, especially when the ETF came out. That's when I was just like, I need if I'm going to get into cryptocurrency and learning more about that as to build my wealth and stuff. I kind of ended up going, took a couple classes, or a little financial advisor, you could say, or he was a financial advisor, but then he decided that the financial advising business is all about big banks and protecting them. Right. So he kind of was about the whole Bitcoin ETF as well, and so, free market. So yep, been learning and investing a little bit in the Bitcoin. So hopefully one day I could own one Bitcoin. And then pass
Hello
it down.
to one Bitcoin.
Generational wealth, they say. We'll see. It's at 56,000 right now, and we can look back on this video and see if I was right or if I was wrong.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about how we can get a hold of you. I know phone number is really important, so let's talk about that. How does anyone get a hold of you before we wrap it up? I know we're going to wrap it up, not yet, but soon, because I know we got number 10 for you is going to be a little longer than it is for most people.
Ooh,
Yes, our number 10 point, which is like, just some great advice. We wanted to make sure you had enough time to do that for people. So if people want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you, Dakota?
Oh, same way I got into real estate. Google.
There you go.
Well, it makes me think it was a funny story. It was one of my clients that I was following up with for like 2 or 3 years. He was I didn't know at the time he had dementia, and so did his wife, and they lived in the same house.
Couple of dementia.
Yeah, and so following up with him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm dealing with my wife. She has dementia. We had apparently we have 2 insurance on our roof and this and that, but we actually became friends on the phone." And I got hired because of his because he's going into a retirement home, and he says, "You have to hire Dakota. Yeah. You have to hire him as a realtor." So his son is just like, "Who the heck is Dakota?" Right. But there can't be that many Dakotas in Ohio or in the Dayton market, so I am currently only Dakota in the
Dakota in Dayton.
Dayton market. There was one a few years ago and stuff. So, but just like the average agent, he only lasted a couple years and so. But basically, 937-474-0235 or DakotaSells.com.
There you go. That's how we get to Dakota. That's awesome. I thought you were going to tell me with these dementia people, you just tricked them into like thinking that you were like some family friend for like 20 years that maybe they forgot about, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm the guy that sells houses."
Yeah, you don't remember me?
Yeah, no. You would never do that. Not Dakota. Well, let's get to bullet point number 10, which is you got some really cool advice that you want to give everyone on different things and that you could do when buying and selling a house. Is that correct? I don't know. You got a list of them over there you want to go through.
Well, not too much. It was just kind of the whole real estate investing situation and stuff too. It's just so funny. You see these things online about cap rate and gross rent multiplier and all these different algorithms to have me help you invest in an area that I would not even invest in myself.
Right.
So it's just it's really about just keeping the basics and stuff. So, you've heard about location.
And before I forget, Dakota is a Dayton native as well, which is huge, which is why we're part of Dayton Approved. He has been here ever since he's grown up. Grew up in Centerville.
Well, 10 years. I mean, when I was 10 years old. So
Oh,
my
okay.
mom was native and stuff.
Gotcha.
And we went on a little tour to the west, and now came back.
Oh, well, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, a whole nother story.
But anyway, well, whatever. Ever since he could remember, right? Didn't?
Yeah, pretty much.
He's been a Dayton native. Did go to Centerville and stayed here, and has been in Dayton since then. So
All that and more in 2004.
that's right. That was our slogan. But yeah, let's get to these points that you were saying.
Well, first off, one of the things everybody knows about is location.
Correct.
So with any town, you go to any town, you're going to realize there's a good side of town and there's the hood side of town.
That's right.
So
right.
if you end up dividing it into 4 quadrants, it's just so with Dayton, if you're going to be investing money into real estate, it would be the good side of town happens to be the south east. So Miamisburg, Beaver Creek, Oakwood, Bellbrook, Kettering, Springboro, those kind of things, and then you go up the hood side of town. Hopefully I don't get in trouble for these little videos. Am I able to say hood side? The less desirable side of town happens to be more northwest and stuff. So those are the houses that I could get you a really great deal, by the way. So, you hear these people, can you get me a good deal on a house?
Well, we got you.
We got
you a
you.
deal.
Got you this part of town and stuff. So now I almost recommend, actually always recommend, I'd rather overpay for a house that's in a good side of town than getting a great deal on the hood side of town. You're just going to have less headaches.
Makes sense.
Tenants are actually going to pay. You don't need to have a rifle on your hip when you're collecting payment, things like that and stuff. So that, and it's just one of the more important things in building your wealth too is just financial leverage. So using the banks that are going to put down as little, cover as much as 97.5% of it. So live there for a couple years, go to your next property,
Right.
and so that's one way, or the
Make
other
some
way.
tax-free money.
And it's just, as you look at the inflation rate and stuff, it's pretty amazing to lock in your money in that property now. So those are some kind of simple things I think people knew about, but it's always good to revisit them and could actually go into more details if anybody is looking to invest in real estate. But then, yeah. I think that was it.
Well, that's awesome. These are some good words of wisdom and some good advice. So anything you want to leave us on with just words of encouragement here?
Well, I think with any business, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So just caring about what they care about again. So it's just making sure, just asking the questions and just being trying to provide that service, being helpful.
Absolutely. Well, Dakota, thank you for being here today. Thank you for telling us your story. Thank you for letting us know about real estate. And I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Well, thanks, guys. It was nice talking to everybody, or talking. Thanks for listening.
And be sure to reach out to Dakota if you want to know more information about selling or buying a house, because he is the realtor that I know and love here in Dayton, Ohio.
There we go. Thank you.
All right, Dakota, until next time.
Subscribe and follow to our Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform. Be sure to sign up for our email list and receive an email to watch the show. Every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Do you know a great Dayton business that you would like to see on the show? Visit our website at DaytonApproved.com and click on the Contact tab and tell us who you'd like to see.